This video is sponsored by CyberGhost VPN. 2020 has been a bad year for basically everyone. Even the bankers. Even they got a cut to their fat bonuses. I mean, they're still fat, just trimmed a bit. It's been a bad year for me personally. I've put on weight, my eyesight has deteriorated, and I found out I've been diabetic this whole time. But mostly, it's been a bad year for cinema. America has barely even hit it big on the worldwide box office charts. It's all dominated by China now. Yeah! But amidst all the charts, the land of the free still managed to produce a little film that could. A new Hollywood franchise. A paragon to the American dream of capitalizing on recognizable brands and lazily packaging them in order to make millions of dollars for the littlest amount of effort.
Bing, 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 bing.
We got the Sonic movie, kids. Sonic the Hedgehog is currently the third highest grossing film in the US and the second most successful video game movie of all time. Number 1 in America. Yet nothing about Sonic the Hedgehog looks or feels like the source material it's supposed to be based off. It's not like any of the games, the shows, or comic books. Nothing about it feels unique. Every sequence seems audience tested, low risk, and if it was written by an AI to have the broadest appeal. The only aspect of the movie that feels like Sonic is Sonic himself, but they only just got that right thanks to the Sonic Twitter mafia.
You freaking freak! When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
So they changed the design and dropped the movie into the gaping mouths of the purposeless masses, and no one really said anything. It wasn't particularly praised, nor was it condemned. The film dropped, made millions of dollars, and everyone was satisfied, apart from me. I'm cursed with caring, because I see the big picture. The company that made this film, Original Film, who I've scolded before, don't make original films. All they did was take the familiarity of Sonic and plop him into Hop, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Alvin and the Chickmunks, Looney Tunes Back in Action, Yogi Bear, Woody Woodpecker, and coming to a cinema near you, Tom and Jerry. They dusted their diamond-encrusted gloves and collected all our hard-earned money, which could have been used to help us survive a pandemic that's going on. After the gains made in the art war with family-friendly films based on abstract source material such as the Lego Movie and Detective Pikachu, we can now say that the battle has been lost to cheap, safe, milquetoast, middle of the road, middle America, vulgar auteurism once again. Which is why I now exclusively watch obscure foreign movies. But that's only made possible with CyberGhost VPN, the safest VPN I could get my diabetic mitts on. I can watch anything from German antique shows to the Kenny vs Benny Pandemic special, and this VPN works with Netflix, so I can watch Twilight Zone and Twin Peaks. The American Netflix has 40% more content than the UK one, so I'm getting more bang for my buck. But it's not just Netflix, it unblocks over 38 streaming services including Hulu, Amazon Prime and Disney+. Also, CyberGhost VPN has apps for Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, Linux, smart TVs and gaming consoles. By buying one subscription you can use it on up to 7 devices simultaneously. It even works on Fire Sticks. So if you like sports, you can watch all your matches in one place securely. They have a proven track record of keeping no logs, so no spying, and they have over 36 million users that trust them. And it has 5 out of 5 on Trustpilot. So use my link in the description below to get CyberGhost VPN at a 79% discount for just £2.15 a month. They also have a 45-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it, you can get your money back. So it's absolutely win-win for everyone, apart from those that used it to watch Sonic the Hedgehog, that you lost. Because Sonic the Hedgehog's not even a real Sonic movie. It's a strange mishmash of Dire Avengers and a CGI Buddy road trip movie. All the while, the characters continue quipping at each other to ensure that we don't take any of it too seriously. Because hey, it's just a dumb video game movie. You don't even expect this to be good, right? But why shouldn't it be good? Why can't a Sonic movie actually look like a Sonic movie for 1 second? Well, okay, it does look like a Sonic movie for 1 second. We get a couple of seconds at the very start of the movie movie, with Sonic running through Green Hill Zone. But the rest of the film is just spent in a little town in America. Where's the classic Sonic rock and roll music and the 90s era radicality? Where's all the fantasy, the sci-fi, the lore? Well, it's not there. Every aspect of this film has to have been tested or peer-reviewed over and over. Instead of creating a soundtrack that takes from the games, they make it a jukebox soundtrack. Because people have loved those since Guardians. The super speed? Let's just lift that from the X-Men movies. Quicksilver was the best bit anyway. But we don't have the budget to make people slowly drift through time, so we just make it look like time's been frozen. Same thing. Sonic's best human friend? Let's just cast the same guy from Hop. It's a safe bet. We know he can interact with CGI characters, and he's been audience tested. The mums love him. The story starts with baby Sonic, who grew up in a Sonic level all by himself. So no Tails or other animal people, aside from his mum, Longclaw the Owl, who Sonic tells us is basically Obi-Wan Kenobi. Except unlike Obi-Wan Kenobi, you never grow to like her or even understand what the hell she is. I mean, she's not in the games or anything. Before dying dramatically, as Sonic uses those classic golden rings to create a portal to Earth. Oh, so that's what they do. I picked up like 1 million of them in Sonic 2. Now he's got to hide out on Earth because people will always want his power. Sonic hides out in a small American town for years, keeping a big bag of rings if he ever needs to make a quick escape. But after some time, Sonic gets so lonely and sad that he runs really fast and alerts Dr. Robotnik to his presence. There's nothing that really drives Sonic to do this, though he just needs to get the plot started, because from there, Sonic immediately messes up again by dropping his rings through a ring that leads to San Francisco. So Sonic needs to get those rings back with our other protagonist, Tom. Just Tom. But Jim Carrey, Eggman, Robotnik, is going to be hot on the trail trying to get Sonic's power. But maybe on that trip, Tom and Sonic will discover the power of friendship. So all that world building from multiple Sonic games can just get chucked straight in the bin, because we're shooting the whole film in Vancouver and Sonic's grown up in America now and he's just going to be referencing American movies just like Deadpool. Other than Eggman, the film doesn't look to borrow anything from the vast pool of Sonic lore. There's no Chaos Emeralds, Robotnik's grandfather who makes Shadow isn't in it, Rouge the Bat isn't there working with the president as she normally does. There aren't any Chow Gardens or Extreme Sports or Metal Sonic or Mecha Sonic. I'm not saying putting these elements into the film would have made it better, but it would have definitely made it more interesting, more provocative, something different at least. It just goes to show that there were no real elements of the original game series that really inspired or came into the making of this movie. But they showed us Tails right at the end. See, Sonic fans, they have been thinking about you. They've been thinking about you all along. They showed you how Sonic got his shoes and you got to see a little bit of Tails. Aren't you pleased? And if you pay us money to see the second one, we promise there'll be more Sonic stuff to come. Not all of it, but a bit more in Sonic 2, coming to theaters April 2022. That's when you'll get proper Sonic. We promise. Because perhaps a studio like Original Film felt that if you jumped too deep into Sonic out the gate, the Sonic fans might be happy, but it might creep out the mums and the dads, and the kids and tweens who don't know about Sonic but need to know where he comes from. If it all looks too busy, only the Sonic fans will come. But they can just make it appealing to everyone. They need to make Sonic a family movie, where the majority of the cast are human, and are worrying about whether or not they get promotions. That's what families want to see. The Sonic fans will just always show up. But this is what Hollywood filmmaking has become. Banking on fan bases being loyal to a franchise, and making as little of an impact creatively as they can, to weasel their products onto as many cinema and TV screens as it is humanly possible. Everyone eats bread. Most of us like it with ham, pastrami, maybe pickles or a veggie alternative to that. But if push comes to shove, I can eat bread on its own. Most people can. Bread is familiar, and it's easily digestible. But if someone gave me a meal of bread, and for some reason told me it was an eaten mess the whole way through it, if I was hungry I'd eat it, but I certainly wouldn't pay for it, and I definitely wouldn't go around talking to all my mates about that bread meal I had. But imagine if someone made $340 million off a bread meal, whilst convincing us that it was their take on an eaten mess. That's why I hate the Sonic movie. Because it's not Sonic, it's bread. Ah, the family movie, a staple of cinema. our households and our culture. For where would we be without the likes of Lion King, Star Wars, The Goonies, Home Alone or Finding Nemo? Ah, the family movie. Something for old Daddy Peter who's hurt his back fixing the roof to giggle at. Something for little Tammy Twinkleshoes who loves ballet to be enthralled by. Something for Mummy Coriander to mull over after her husband's affair. An event that ensures that the whole family can look in one place together at the same time. Family films have many genres: science fiction, adventure, fantasy, high school, romance, cop movies, horror, but there is a particular genre that is entirely reserved for family films, and that is the CGI Buddy Film. When you've got CGI characters running around a big city, getting into all sorts of trouble that no doubt frustrate and wreck the life of some blue-collar white man, sending him onto a crazy journey where he learns the value of friendship or family or some crap. Hollywood churn out a seedy number of these films, and I think it's just the go-to formula for putting a semi-popular cartoon into a 90-minute movie. The first of these was Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which actually put a lot of thought into the set design, characters, and the fun interaction between live action and animation. But that wasn't even CGI, those are all hand-drawn animations, so actually it doesn't count. Sorry, my bad. The real first CGI Buddy film was Stuart Little. We all loved it when we first saw Stuart Little's little grin when he was adopted by the Littles. The journey he had to go through riding that remote control boat, making the cat learn to be his friend, being adopted by the fake mouse parents, and look at him eating peanuts, isn't that fucking cool? But the thing is, for every original popular film that pushes the boundaries, there's always going to be films that only want to emulate them. And then there are films that recreate the recreations. And we continue to move further and further away from the truthful intention of what created this convention to begin with. In Stuart Little, there's genuine thought that goes into the set and camera shots to make you believe that the CGI mouse is actually in the space, with stylistic lighting, great performances, and in every scene you are aware of how tiny Stuart is. It's a family film that has no qualms with putting him at the edge of death in every action sequence. But with Sonic, he might as well be a talking watermelon for most of his scenes. Every shot is going to be as flat as possible, the lighting is going to be as basic as possible, and you're always going to be aware that Sonic is a CGI composite. It was shot in such a generic, non-stylized way that they could completely change the design 4 months before release, and it's not going to even affect the way it was shot or the way the other characters interact with Sonic at all. As well as a CGI buddy film, this film is also kind of a road trip movie as well, but I'm not entirely convinced. They start their journey to San Francisco, they go to a biker bar and get into a fight for virtually no reason, then they stay in a hotel, and then Sonic gets blown up by a sticky bomb. Just take your glove off! Sonic, take your glove off! So then Tom takes Sonic to his sister-in-law's house, and I don't know if that's nearby or if it's in the town that they started in, but after he wakes up it just cuts to them arriving in San Francisco. So not much of a road trip. But they do spend a weird amount of time in a car for a film that's not a road trip movie. Jim Carrey's in the film as well, I didn't forget. He's not, I can't say he's bad, but he's just doing Jim Carrey, safe, audience tested, surveyed Jim Carrey doing what Jim Carrey has done for his entire career. And the only shame is that despite Carrey's fun but directionless improv, Dr. Robotnik never really feels threatening as the villain. As Olaf in Series of Unfortunate Events, he was also that classic goofy Jim Carrey, but he was also someone who could evoke a sense of danger. In Sonic, Carrey hams up every line to a point where the main point of his character, which is to be the antagonist, gets lost. Again, you never feel like anyone's in any actual danger, despite all his gadgets and robots. And again, the film never quite wants to bust its nut, because Jim Carrey only looks a bit like Dr. Robotnik. He's like the holistic medicine version of Dr. Robotnik, until, just like Tails, right at the end, they give you the actual Dr. Robotnik. But if you want to get it properly, like properly, you'll have to come to the second one. You have to come see Sonic 2, coming April 2022. But imagine if Sonic failed hard, like fallen on its arse, and we weren't getting that promised Sonic DLC in Sonic 2. Then this is all we'd be left with. This would be the only shot we had at a Sonic franchise. It would be just another Terminator Genesis, Dark Fate, Amazing Spider-Man 2, or The Mummy. A movie trying desperately to make you enjoy it, and another movie that doesn't yet exist. But instead of that, imagine that they tried it all. Done the whole Sonic world in full IMAX 4K quality. Even if it failed, there would be more merit to it. I'd rather a magnificent failure instead of this unidentifiable clone of a film that got boring 20 years ago. And that's why it's my least favourite film of 2020. But what do you think? Let me know down below if you think I'm being too hard, or if I missed some kind of egregious film that came out. Don't forget to click on the description link to get the special discount CyberGhost VPN is granting you. CyberGhost will protect your data while you browse and give you full access to all blocked content on the internet for £2.15 a month only. It's totally risk-free, so check it out. Link in the description. Also, I'd like to thank the NitPix patrons for supporting the channel each month. You guys are the greatest, and we could not do what we do without your support. Also, whilst I've got your attention, I directed a music video with Jake Passmore for his band Scores. We all put in a lot of work to make the video as fun as possible, so give the video some love. There will be a link in the description. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you again real soon.
This is the tears of a gamer. These are my heart on my sleeve. I play games and I don't play them for free, 'cause I'm a real life gamer. These are normal tears, babe. These are the tears of a gamer. And sometimes when I lose I get salty, call me a flamer, but I'm just a gamer, 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 just a gamer. These are the tears of the gamer. These are the tears of the gamers. The solo gamers with no friends, playing the campaigns till the end. No way to play co-op or split screen. No one to ever hear them scream. Playing all alone in the dead of night. Playing all alone and it's such a sight. Playing all alone, playing Call of Duty or Halo over and over. These are the tears of the gamer. Stop this obsession and come out and play a real game like catch. Back in my day, gamers, you know, you play a bit of board game, bit of Monopoly, bit of capitalism, you know.
Join the army.